And welcome to a beautiful, if not a little bit wet, Farriers in the Cotswold Water Park. This is my syndicate for the year. It was my syndicate last year, and the whole point of what I'm going to do is part of the Flewdog blog is I will be doing sort of my journey through the year at Farriers, along with all the other trips and all the other bits and pieces that we're going to be doing. This is going to be sort of my home. This is where I'm going to be basing a lot of my time, where I'm not Europe or working on other projects. My winter fishing's generally spent on day tickets, but then as we get into the spring and the summer, I move on to a syndicate. So this isn't actually the start of what's happened, because I've actually jumped into one of the swims behind one of the lads that's had a fantastic start to the season. Dean Latimer has worked his absolute vagina off to make it work here and has been rewarded 40s, big 30s. I think he had 3 38s in one session, so I have sheeped him up a little bit, which in my opinion is fair game. For all these people that say, oh, you can't jump in behind a going swim. I mean, you pay a lot of money to come and fish these places, and if the fish are there, then why wouldn't you? Controversial, but hey, why the hell not? I got here this morning at 8 o'clock and I spent, you know, Dean has only now just left at 2 o'clock. So I've spent a lot of the time walking around, seeing if there's anything I can see in and around other spots to get something going. But the fish are up here, they've been showing, and quite literally, just as Dean was packing up, he had a take, and I was lucky enough to quickly film that for him. Now, we're sat in a swim that I'm potentially going to drop in behind. And I said to Dean, I wouldn't be surprised if you have a fish before I leave. No, mate, I'm not feeling it. I said, mate, it feels good up here, it does really feel good. And lo and behold, off she's gone. Literally just sat here thinking, am I going to be making the right decision? And off it's gone. So we'll stick with this for a little bit. As I said on the introduction to the video, if I've got something in my hand, a camera, whatever it may be, you will see video. So we're about to see, hopefully, a Farriers fish on camera. But it's just funny how I made the call. I said I wouldn't be surprised if you haven't before I leave. Bear in mind he's leaving in about an hour, he said. Maybe extended that now. Oh no, he's saying. Perfect. But typical Farriers bite, few beeps and then up to the top and stopped. I'm going to be honest, I'm going to probably sheep him up by going in behind. But there comes a point in your life where you have to think, do I want to be off the fish to prove a point, or do I want to come where the fish might well be? There she goes. And in the net. There we are, we're going to sort this out for Dean, and happy days. Oh, look at that smile. Dean has done really, really well this winter. I'll talk a bit about Dean's fishing a little bit later on. But to see one in a swim that I'm potentially going to drop in is absolutely buzzing. Well, mate, here we are. Typical Farriers. I mean, one of the smaller ones, but what an absolute look at that. Proper dark fish. Hat questionable, but he has done an
lucky hat, mate.
Lucky hat. He's had an awesome year already, mate. So,
net as well,
double capture. Happy days, mate. That'll do. That's filled me with a little bit of confidence, I'll be honest with you. So, as you can see, I mean, he's too posh to get him out of the water unless they're 30 pounders, the old showbiz git. But you can't help yourself, you know. This lake is chock full of big fish. For anyone that doesn't know anything about farriers, load of commons and some absolutely belting mirrors as well. But commons make up a large percentage, obviously, of the stock. So I've jumped in behind him, sheeped him up a little bit. The spots that he's fishing are spots I fished in summer, and I had some great fish from them last summer, so I'd be stupid to not investigate them spots. So the bivvy's all set up, camp is set up already, the rods are actually out, and we will see what happens. The weather has massively changed. The last couple of days it's been warm, double figure weather. It has started to get a little bit mopey again, but who knows. Got 48 hours ahead of me, and I will keep you up to date on anything that goes on. Well, good morning from a particularly miserable looking lake at the moment. Nothing to report apart from a Terry the Tench. Literally just got dark. One of the bailiffs, Jim, come round, we were having a chat and massive drop back. He's going, it's on. I said, yeah, I know, we've got to hit into it. And the thing is with the deer is the tench seem to fight equally as hard, if not harder sometimes, than the carp. So there was a bit of a, I don't know if this is on, I don't know, because sometimes they just get stuck in the weed and you're just pulling a ball of weed in. Came in a bit like a dead weight, and unfortunately, yeah, so Jim took that around, chucked that in one of the holding nets. But yeah, apart from that, as I said, Josh Bennett is across the way from me. He's been keeping an eye on my side of what's going on behind me, and I'm keeping an eye on what's been going on behind him. And unfortunately, apart from one in my bay to my left, nothing really to report. So the rod's going to stay out. As I say, yesterday Dean had his take about 2 o'clock, so I don't really want to fiddle with them. I had to recast the tenched out rod first, like this morning. That took 4 or 5 casts, probably too many, but it had to be done. I can't sit here thinking I'm on the spot at dark. So yeah, apart from that, not a lot. Brew, bit of porridge, and we will see what the rest of the day has to bring. Still plenty of time. Unfortunately at the moment it's getting loads of these coronavirus updates, what's going on, but self-isolation on the bank, winning. Well, not a big one by any stretch of the imagination for this lake, but 26.5 pound. Just on the phone to one of the boys saying I'm not sure I'm in the right place, and the rod's absolutely buzzed off. Couldn't even get into the waders for this one, straight into a big fight. But happy days, welcome back to Farriers for me. Chocolate, really stunning looking fish. As I said, by no means a biggie for this lake, but for me, off the mark on your first session back after a long breakaway is absolutely buzzing. Right, slip it back, everything's in carnage because it went through the other rod, so I have to get them all back out in spots. But yeah, vlog number 2, Farriers Lake, starts with a cracking 26.5 pounder, buzzing. Right, so as I've actually managed to have one, I can talk a little bit about what I'm doing, baiting, etc. What I've learnt from last year is they love buoy. Don't get me wrong, loads of other methods work. Kev Hewitt did it really well on particle and other bits and pieces and whatnot, but when I was told that when I knew I was coming on here, obviously you do a little bit of research and you find out what does well. Now, what seems to work in here is creamy baits, nutty baits. So we're blessed at CR that obviously we've got a creamy, nutty bait. It's not going to break any boundaries of what I'm doing. I'm using CR1. It was the first in the range. It was the one that's caught every PB I've had. It just catches so many fish. And on a lake that has certain baits go into it, I'm uber confident when I take the CR1 with me. So what we're starting with, or last year I just used straight boilie, but I have started to do something a bit different. So all you've got is, yet again, as you saw in the last vlog, I do like to soak up my boilies in the colder months. So some of that test liquid, that creamy liquid that if you've seen my social media, a lot of people have asked me about. It's a super heavy, sweetened liquid, sinks to the bottom and sort of oozes out across the bottom, if you like. A really great liquid, and I've just got a lot of confidence in that now, mixed with a little bit of lake water. But what I've done is I've soaked the baits for a couple of hours and then just simply mashed them between my hands. It's not pretty, it's not sexy, it's not exactly ghost with pottery. It's squidging boilies between your hands. It's pretty minging. But what it creates is like a sort of pasty gloop, and then you've got the rest of the baits as well. So it's like slop, but boilie slop. I know a lot of people use a lot of dry crumb and whatnot, but to me, I just worry about that drifting off the spot, etc. This is going to sit down, it's got that liquid in it, so I can just imagine on the bottom it's all oozing off and away. And it seems to have worked. As I said, 26.5 by here is, you know, a lot of the lads wouldn't have even got it out of the water. But to me, they all mean a lot, because I don't catch a lot. So I'm quite honest, if I don't catch a lot of fish, everyone means a lot. And they should still, you know, I still get that buzz from every single carp I catch. But that's essentially the bait. Oh, I did put a little bit of amino C3. When I say a little, 4 or 5 capfuls, not a lot. But I just like the fact that soaks into the bait. So I basically get the bait out, add the liquids, leave them defrost, then add a bit of lake water and then smash them all up. It's very simple. It's an absolute mess, it's gross, but it seems to be working. So rods are back out in the spots again after I've had a few liners, and that fish wiped me out earlier, so I've had to redo that and whatnot. But yeah, hope springs eternal. 24 hours left and we shall see what we shall see. Right, well, that's the rods now out for the night. A few more people arrived, a few more people are left. So it's a bit of a 6-1/2 dozen the other. Got lads quite close to me now casting off the back of my area. So yeah, we will see what happens. It's nothing really more to report apart from that stuff I seen that bay earlier, which got me all twitchy, but then I had the bite and then you feel a bit more relaxed about it, and then, you know, it's all a bit up and down. It's not really been fishing the greatest the last couple of days. I feel like I've missed, it's easy to make excuses I suppose, isn't it? Hey! But I do feel I missed the best part of the weather with the start of the week. But we're here, and potentially I'm down next week as well, so this is a good bit of homework for what might happen next week. So, gonna have something to eat, update some Corona rubbish, see what's going down there, and then maybe have a cheeky cider, a little celebratory dark fruit. So for now, catch you in a little bit. Right, well, that's me nearly to the end of my first session on Farriers for 2020. The rods, the fish have started to show, so I have just pub chucked some rods basically out the back of the swim. But where are they? over there. One of the lads, Dan Tellin, is going to jump in behind me as well, because they have started to really sort of kick off behind me. So thank you very much again for watching. Potentially something will happen. I've got another half an hour whilst I pat down. If so, I will film that obviously, but if not, thanks again for watching episode number 2, and I'm back next week, so stay tuned potentially for another video. Thanks very much again.